What's up, travelers? As an extra special treat this holiday season, The Morbid Forest is dropping one of our Deeper into the Forest episodes. That is a Patreon exclusive episode. So I hope you guys enjoy us talking a little bit more about what goes on here at the forest. And if you want to hear more, head over to patreon.com/themorbidforest and become a Patreon today. What's up, travelers? You've got Sean and Naomi here, and we want to just do a quick little sit-down chat about the stories. So first up for season 2, episode 1 was Old Knobbly.
Oh my god, I love this. Is so much fun to do.
Yeah, so Sean, first off, how did we come about getting this story? Because this is not neither one of our stories.
No, it's not. It's written by a really awesome dude named Luke Condor. Shout out to Luke. He, like I mentioned in the episode, he has a podcast called The Other Stories, which is a collection of his and other UK horror writer stories. And I listened to it years ago, and this is one of the stories that really kind of stuck out to me. I listened to a bunch I really liked. And when we started doing stuff for season 2, we needed to take out but we wanted to take out some guest writers, for a bunch of different reasons. And because we have made a lot of friends in the podcast and horror writing community, we wanted to build some bridges and start some working relationships with people, blah, blah. I thought of that story instantly. And I said to Naomi, let's see if we can do that. And I ended up messaging him on Instagram, and he was super about it. And he sent us the PDF, and, there it is. And he was really psyched about how it came out.
I know, I love it. And I like that we got to do like a British story and it be like kind of like old ancient gaudy feeling. He's a great writer, and I freaking love it.
He really is. He's one of my favorite authors. He really is. I ended up buying a couple of his books, and they're just amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, we'll have to drop a few of those recommendations in the show notes here for you guys.
Absolutely.
It just makes me think about, what type of weird mythological gods and whatnot are out and about stalking around, and what people think about.
I'm sure there's tons. I mean, anyone that knows me knows I'm a huge Cthulhu nut.
Yeah.
I love Lovecraft mythos and stuff like that. So I'm all about old gods, and that's super my wheelhouse thing. That's my shit. So
yeah, I mean, if you haven't,
I love the thought of old gods, and I love the thought of ancient powers and ancient books. I just love all mythical occult shit. It's so good.
Yeah, I definitely in the future want to bring a little bit more of that mythical old feeling culture, definitely to the podcast, because it is a different type of horror scare and feel. You know what I mean?
And it's not. And again, I'm not throwing shade on other shows, because we don't do that.
We don't do that. No.
But it's something you don't. No, not at all. Unless you're a Nickelback podcast, in which case.
Oh dear, not again.
Okay. Anyway, I apologize, all two of you. In all seriousness, now wait, I'm sorry, I forgot the question.
I said that.
I'm a stoner. This is what happens. This is right. You guys want to dance the content? Well, here you go.
Disclaimer: Sean's a stoner, and I'm currently drinking. So.
Buckle up, because it's gonna be fun.
No.
I remember you. No, actually, I don't remember what you asked me. What did you say?
Oh my God, I was saying about you're the worst. I was saying that I want to in the future do more stories that bring in that mythos.
Absolutely. I think. Oh, that's what I was going to say. I think a lot of podcasts outside of RPG actual play, Cthulhu podcasts, don't really touch on that whole old gods type of thing.
Well,
I mean, there are a few that do, like Old Gods of Appalachia do it really good.
They do it phenomenally well.
They do it amazing.
Yeah. So
I think if I had to make a tier list of that type of genre, they'd be at the top because, like, and they're also friends of the show and friends of us personally, and Ken and Steve that run that show. Oh my God, the shit they do, they're one of the few writers that actually fills me as a writer with envy, going, God, I wish I wrote that. That shit's so good. Yeah, but, and I'm, you know.
Oh, I get that.
Just in that book, but no, but you know, and it's not fan service. Like, we legitimately love the show. I've been a friend of the show for a long time since it started. So it's a very, very good show. The thing I like about it is it runs into the problem that a lot of people say, where Lovecraft himself wasn't the greatest person. He was kind of racist and kind of a shit person.
Mm-hmm.
But to separate the art from the artist, like, okay, like, he was racist and very problematic and, you know, not the best person, you know, like, I'm not going to say it, but if you Google what his cat was called, you'll get an idea what kind of person he was. Not cool. But the stuff he wrote, fucking check this.
I mean, that's the same way a lot of...
Fucking my shit, like...
I mean, that's the same way a lot of people are, at least currently, feeling about Tim Burton. Like, Tim Burton's works are, like, they are amazing and they're phenomenal, but Tim Burton as a human being is a terrible human.
Does something happen with Tim Burton? I'm out of the loop.
Oh my God, you're out of the loop? Yeah, he has said...
Tell me, dish.
He has said in the past that, like, his characters and, like, his, like, worlds and stuff aren't for people of color.
Oh, ouch. Oh, no, Tim, what are you doing?
Yeah, he has said that. And so it sparked a little bit of controversy, especially, like, you know, like, people like me. I love, like, Edward Scissorhands. I love Nightmare Before Christmas.
I love Nightmare Before Christmas. And I love Coraline. But Tim Burton, go fuck yourself. I'll say it. I don't give a shit. I'm sure he's not listening, so I'm sure we'll be fine.
Yeah, and you know, and he like wasn't like the great. And there's a lot of stories out there.
Let me just say. Like, I grew up in the 90s. I said a lot of shit that I probably shouldn't say today. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to say I never said the N-word. Period. but like. I said, like, I called people retard, and I used gay in not the best way growing up.
Right.
But as I grew up and I learned that those words are hurtful, I didn't use them in that, you know what I mean, in that derogatory way.
Right.
So, like, there's no excuse for still being like that in today's, you know what I mean?
No, I agree.
So, yeah, but, like, Tim Burton, fuck you.
If
you can buy our new Tim Burton Go Fuck Yourself shirts. No, I'm just kidding.
And I mean, if that is the case, he can go and get eaten by a giant knobbly tree.
Exactly. So anyway, back to old Knobbly, who would not eat Tim Burton because I don't think he was racist.
No, I don't think so. But I think, like, as old Knobbly, like, you know, I'm thinking of, like, sacrificial people. Well, it was awesome working with, like, another writer, you know, and someone else who is involved in horror and is involved in podcasting. You know, I was almost a little nervous about, like, putting out, like, something that, like, one, is somebody else's work because you never want to fuck it up.
Oh, yeah.
And then two, he already has an amazing podcast. So I'm like, well, how can, not that we want to one up it, but how can we do it just as much justice?
I was actually surprised that he was like, yeah, go ahead. Like, he was, like, super on board, like... Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, and again, this is nothing against him, but somebody coming out of nowhere and be like, hey, can I read something you wrote that you already read?
Yeah.
I expected him to be like, nah, I'm good. But he was like, super like, no, yeah, go ahead. I was like, he's like a super chill dude. So I was like, oh shit, okay. So, like, yeah, no, he was like super about it.
I know, and I love that. So thank you so much, Luke, for letting us and trusting us.
And because of Luke, it was the first time you actually heard my god-awful singing on the podcast.
Oh, and
I promise you won't happen too often.
Well, that and my god-awful singing. Nobody needs to hear that either.
You had much better pitch tonight. Like, if this is American Idol, I would get a no dog with Randy Johnson or Jackson or whatever that dude's name is with the glasses.
Yeah, Andrew Jackson, yeah.
You would just be Simon Cowell's bitch.
Oh, good Lord.
Like, oh, lovely.
Oh, no. Oh my God, you're too much. You're too much.
So lovely. Real fight. Anyway.
Well.
I Simon Cowell sounds like Austin Powers, but
a little.
There it is. Oh, behave. All right, anyway, sorry, guys.
Oh, well, reining it in, I'm going to go make Sean behave a little better for you guys. And thanks for joining us on our little...
I'll be better next time, I promise.
Yeah, and thanks for coming to Deeper Into the Forest.